Hello there, and welcome back to the Lex and Please podcast. As promised, this episode is going to be about the Met Gala. But before I get onto that, what's been going on in my life? So I took a road trip, was in Mozambique for a while, and yeah, that's it. Some things happened in between. I'm now back to my original station. People are like, you're everywhere. It's like I'm pinging back and forth, back and forth. My babies are no longer with me, but it's okay. I miss my dogs every single day. The house is not the same without them, but I know that they're in safe hands. Apart from that, before I get onto the episode, since this is a fashion focused episode, I need to talk about Swatch and their collab with Audemars Piguet or Audemars Piguet. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I ain't even gonna try and pretend like I know how to pronounce it. Sure, I speak some French, but I ain't here for it. Like, I was even joking around with my cousin. She goes, "Here in Mozambique, we say Givenchy," and I was like, guys, Givenchy. And she goes, "You see, yeah, no, we don't be doing that right now." She was talking about Veuve Clicquot, and she said Veuve, and I said, "Nah, y'all are stretching it. Y'all are stretching it with that one." But I don't know. I think part of decolonizing your mind is allowing people to speak a language that is not their own in their own accents. That's just like I think that's something that's super important. I remember I had a friend in uni being like, I want to learn French, but I want to learn like Francophone, like African Francophone French. I want to learn Spanish, but I don't want to learn Spanish from Spain. I want to learn like Colombian, South American Spanish. And I was like, you know what? I vibes with it. I understand it. But that was a little bit of a sidetrack. Yeah, that collab fire, I'm not going to lie. Where do I cop? You know what? I might have to get it resale. Like that white one looking cute still. Then there's like a beige one, and I'm like, still cute. Or I haven't even had a chance to look at the other collab that Swatch did, but I think they also did one with Omega, and then they like continued it, and it's like, dude, like this watch is like 300 to $500 compared to the actual like Audemars like watch is like maybe 20,000 to $30,000. So you know what? They're trying to attract a specific niche market. They're trying to go for the the remaining middle class before we all become the the underclass. Before we become the underclass. If you've ever watched Arcane or if you've played League of Legends, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, that collab fire, if I can cop, I will do so. If somebody knows where I can get that watch, please, Lord, let me know. I am willing to pay resale, but I have limits. I have limits. But yeah, it's a fashion episode. Let's get into this fashion, bro. Next segment. And we're back. I feel like this is gonna be my most like unscripted episode ever. Just based off of like everything. And I kind of just want to go off my thoughts in this one, I'll be so real. But let's just start at the beginning. Met Gala. I think it happened, when was it? On May 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Monday. I have a lot to say. I don't know who the director of the Met is right now, but it used to be the dad of a kid I went to school with, surprisingly. Funnily enough. Yeah. Not the point. Met Gala happens every year. It's been going on for a little while. This year the theme was fashion is art, and the theme was costume art, I believe. And proceeds were going towards the Costume Institute. Coolio. So
From what I know, the Met used to be free. Like you used to just pay what you can, but apparently they've now put price in. It's like, sorry, how much even is this? Like it's 30 for adults, 22 for seniors, 17 for students, and free for children under 12. But New York State residents and tri-state residents, so New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut can pay what you wish on a pay what you wish basis. Cool, right? So you have that going on. So something that used to originally be free, essentially, I mean, let me not say free, but or it used to be like accessible to like the public. Now you have to pay for. And on top of that, people can't afford basic things. I'm talking gas for their cars. I'm talking food on the table. I'm talking utility bills. Like, and you want to have a night, you still want to have a night dedicated to the display of exorbitant amounts of wealth. I don't know. I think there's so many different ways to like look at the Met Gala. I think yes, it's like fashion's biggest night. It's something that we can all like, kind of like, let me not say salivate over, but be like, oh my God, like admire in certain ways. Because you really do see certain like designers who you're like, whoa, like they really did they did a really good job. I think it was Karan Johar. He was wearing he was yeah, hold on. He was wearing Manish Malhotra and looked amazing. So it's like it's an opportunity to showcase not only people that previously we would not have seen, like at the Met Gala in the first place, like Karan Johar, maybe like Ishan Bani previously, and have access to designers like Manish Malhotra, but at what expense? Like, at what cost are we doing that? You know what I mean? Like, cool, yeah, people looked great, amazing. Like, oh, Anokia looked amazing. If you guys saw my reel, you saw who I was like, yeah, this person looks so good. That's someone who I'm like, yo, like they look good, like they did a good job. Like I can't remember who was dressing her. I'm not gonna lie. Last year, dandyism, Tom Brown ate, and Tom Brown eats every time. Tom Brown eats every time at the Met Gala, but obviously I loved it. There's just some certain dresses I just loved. Emma Chamberlain looked amazing. So many people looked like so good, and I can't even like pinpoint half of them because it's like they're just so they're actually, let me not say so many people look good. Like a good people looked good, but there are also people who did not like some, like a lot of it was boring. But I think what I like nowadays is that men are putting in more effort, which I really appreciate. Like, oh my God, Madonna's one, which was inspired by that painting, was crazy. Some people didn't like it, but Gustav Magnar Witzor's like suit was like super cool. Wisdom K looked good. Chase Infinity looked good. Like people look good, but I think it was just a handful of people. And I think the most annoying part of it, like from a fashion perspective, it felt like it was lacking. And it was like, bro, like if this was the Met Gala to go up and off, like this was the Met Gala to go off. I don't remember which Met Gala it was, but I remember it was Lana Del Rey. Looked so good in one outfit from like maybe it was like it was 2018. I think it was the one, I even forgot the theme of it, but dude, she showed up with these birds, and apparently they were by Alessandro Michele, and it was just like, oh guys, it was to die for. It was to die for. I cannot even express how good she specifically looked. And I can't even remember the theme. I'm like upset. A lot of people look good that year. Heavenly Bodies, wow, 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 wow. Fashion in the Catholic imagination. Dude, Rihanna looked good. That Met Gala there. Everyone came to slay. That one, best today. That's the one with Chadwick as well, looked good. Oh, guys, now. Everyone that year ate. Ate. No crumbs, guys. Zero crumbs left. Everybody ate that year. 2018. Amazing. Dude, that was crazy. But where am I going with this? I'm here to lust over. I'm here to lust over that. That's literally what I'm doing. I'm lusting over how amazing we've had like over the years, some themes have been really good. Other themes were not as good. And I will say that this year's theme just under-delivered a little bit. It didn't feel like it had that magic anymore, but I think there's multiple reasons as to like why it didn't have that anymore. You know what I mean? And one of the reasons is one which we're gonna get into in the next segments. And one of the reasons is the Bezos are involved, so it ended up feeling like the billionaires Met Gala. And then two, people can't afford basic shit. Like, I'm sorry, like, no one is trying to see like exorbitant amount of wealth when you're kind of in a shitty situation by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nobody trying to see that, to be honest. And it's not something that we can like fawn over anymore. I think back in the day, things were more affordable, or maybe things seemed like they were more affordable, and like there was a lot more hope in the world. Right now, things are not really hopeful. Genocides, wars, climate change issues, affordability issues, income inequality at an all-time high. People's basic rights are being violated. I don't want to see you flaunt a dress. I don't want to hear that you bought a ticket or someone paid for you to go to the Met Gala and that's 100,000, and then the table 300,000. Like that's not a life that I can relate to in any way, shape, or form. That's not a life that most people can relate to. Even if you are rich, let's say you're like upper middle class, that you still can't be going to Met Gala. Like you're still not gonna go there. Like unless you got a few million in the bank. Unless you're part of the 1%, really, like, to be part of the 1%, what, you have to have, like, a net worth of, like, $12 to $13 million? Not many people have that. So, unless you that person, you ain't going to no Met Gala to do what? So, I think those are the themes that I will explore. But on the fashion side of things, it also felt like it was lacking. Like, apart from, like, maybe 10, which I was like, yeah, this is cool. I feel like they've understood. Oh, my God, pause. Bad Bunny did an amazing job, and people shit on him, but if you actually read the description of what costume art was, there was a whole section dedicated to aging, and he executed that perfectly. Loved it. Loved the theme behind it. Adored it. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about the Bezos in this next segment. And we're back, and we're gonna get right into it. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez Bezos contributed a reported $10 million to sponsor the Met Gala as their co-chairs, which supports the Metropolitan Museum's Arts Costume Institute. And this year, the gala achieved a record-breaking fundraising haul of $42 million. Can we sit down and evaluate? So you're telling me, as a fundraising event for the Costume Institute this year, Jeff Bezos and his wife, and Lauren, let me not even say his wife, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez contributed a fourth of that. Do you know how insane that is? Like, can we sit down and evaluate? What was I saying earlier? Tickets are 100,000. Tables are 300,000. Last year, the Met broke the record of making 31 million. But this year, nope. We gonna overdo it. 42, bang. Dog. And it, Max Holing, what do you mean the Met Gala is part of the history of American philanthropy? I don't know. I don't believe in philanthropy. I think it's boohickey, but that's just me. Um, um, why? Jeff Bezos, stop trying to like. You're trying to like what? I don't even know if it's whitewash, if it's art wash, if it's pink wash. You're trying to do greenwash. It's something. You're trying to cover up for the BS that you be doing at Amazon. That's why protesters were putting piss bottles in the Met throughout the day, and they had to collect over like hundreds of them. Like there was so many that like protesters left. Then we had Chris Smalls who was arrested, and they like projected the hologram over his house in New York City, where he was talking about how like he was the organizer that like opened the first like organized the first union in Amazon, and how he was fired pretty much a little bit after that. And, you know, Chris Smalls showed up to the Met Gala. He wasn't even doing anything crazy. But, you know, his presence there, I guess, was already enough of a quote unquote threat. So many different things. Like Amazon is involved with like in so many things which are just bad for us. Just bad for the planet. Just bad for the human spirit. Like human soul. Like Palantir you're involved with. ICE you're involved with. IDF technology you're involved with. Like, why? 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 Why are you doing this? Who is this for? Like, who started saying that we should invite these billionaires to these artistic events? Y'all don't even like art. Aren't you guys STEM people that don't care for the arts? Now you're trying to use the arts to sort of like, you know what, like smoothen out your image. No, piss off. Because everybody you contributed to the Costume Institute, but everything the Costume Institute stands for is against everything that you have also contributed to. Does that make sense? So it's like this is just complete like a complete like oxymoron, complete and utter hypocrisy. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand it, bro. Like, you can actually afford to pay your workers properly. You can actually afford to give your employees bathroom breaks. You don't have to contract people as independent contractors so that you don't owe them like benefits like healthcare. Like, what are you doing, dog? This is what someone was saying where it's like, it was AOC. She was like, you can't earn $1 billion. You steal that. You steal it. You undercut people. You screw people over. Like there's no way around that. No one can make $1 billion in a lifetime. That's insane. Like I think it's just frustrating because it's like, and I think that's also why a lot of people boycotted. I think it was Zendaya boycotted, Meryl Streep, Bella Hadid, Taraji P. Henson, that one. Anywho, and it's like, why are you rubbing shoulders with these people? Like, why would you want to be there? Mind you, Meryl Streep was declined to co-host, naturally so. What the hell? This is what I mean by it's like, why are the billionaires there? Because Elon Musk been there a few times, and it's like, why are you there? Like, what is the purpose of you being there? Even when Elon Musk was quote unquote woke, like, what were you there doing? I don't get it. I think Jeff Bezos used this as an opportunity to sort of like paint himself in a better light, look as if he cares about something beyond himself, which is not true because if you did, you would actually be nice to your employees, but you're not. And I think what sucks the most from all of this is that it's not even like a thing where it's like we can dismantle the system today. Like Zora, apparently the mayor usually like is like invited to go. Zoran was like, hell no, which is very jarring because I would have loved to see Rama Duwaji at the Met Gala. She would have ate. Hopefully they go next year, if there is one next year, before they decide that, you know what, maybe let's not. Because again, exorbitant amounts of wealth? No. How about we don't do that? Also, can I say, people, there was like a almost like an anti-Met Gala protest going on like downtown. It was called the Ball Without Billionaires. Lisa Ann Walter, that's who it is. So it was being hosted by Gabriella Carifa Johnson and Lisa Ann Walter, and they were like sort of like showcasing independent designers and working class creators, similar to what Zoran did on his Instagram and on his social media, where he was like, "I'm not gonna go to the Met Gala because if the whole point of it is to like sort of like showcase like fashion, I'm going to showcase the people who actually work in the garment industry." So like did like a, let me not say an op-ed, but he sort of like showcased like different garment workers in the industry, in the fashion industry, obviously all working class people and stuff. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed those. Like those seemed like better and funner, and obviously people were better dressed events. I even saw one on socials where it was this like group of like group of people, I guess like friendship group, like they got together and they hosted like the Met Gala watch party, and their outfits were better than the people who are literally there. So it's like clearly this year was just a flop.com, like flop all over the place. Because outfits weren't hitting, theme was fire, but the outfits weren't hitting, messaging behind it weren't hitting, the co-hosts were not hitting, the sponsors were not hitting, like timing is not hitting at all. So you know, it's not the time. Anybody trying to see that, bro? Ain't nobody trying to see that. Ain't nobody trying to see that. Sorry. Next segment. And we're back. I guess now I can put everything together and say the Met Gala is, and maybe let me not say it started off as a fundraising event, right? Cool. But it has now become, I think it was around 2010, it now became more of a star-studded experience, a more star-studded thing where it's like, oh, we're here to like showcase designers and celebrities who are wearing those designers in the hopes that they'll donate. And yeah, that's the whole point of it, right? And what I can say is that we're now at a point where it's like, it was cute and fun back in the day when people could actually afford things, but now people can't afford basic shit. So ain't nobody trying to see this exorbitant amount of wealth being exhibited. Sorry. And then to make matters worse, you're gonna have a co-host on it who's Jeff Bezos. Like, you are the like head boy in charge of late stage capitalism. Like, you are the poster child of that. We don't want to see that. We'll tune in because it's the thing to do, but realistically, we don't want to tune in. We're angry, we're upset. Like, ain't nobody trying to see that. Ain't nobody trying to see that. And I'm pretty sure next year they're probably gonna raise more than 42 million, because last year it was 31 million, this year 42, next year it's probably gonna be more. And we're gonna see all of those goofballs that were there at the Trump administration's inauguration. I swear to God, Mark Zuckerberg at Met Gala, that will be my 13th reason. That gonna make me crash out, no lie. But I wanted to do this episode to not only look at the fashion side of things and be like, I can appreciate certain outfits, I can appreciate certain designers, and I can look at it and be like, I love it. Oh my God, Heidi Klum. Did people see the picture where Rihanna's like holding her nipple? Then ASAP's on the side laughing. And I was like, this couple is a bunch of goofballs. What's wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all, bro? And that whole interaction, I was just there like, I don't know what the hell is happening here, but you know what? Celebrities, they're just like us. All I can say that's a sidetrack. All I can say is that even though I can appreciate those moments and look at certain things and be like, oh, I like what they wore, or I think it goes with the theme based off what I know of the theme, right? And appreciate it. I can also still criticize the Met Gala and be like, although as someone who's interested in fashion, this looks cool and this seems really cool and this is like, oh yay, like, what a beautiful night of fashion, and one wishes they could be around that. Maybe not even be on the cover, but just be behind the scenes, right? We still have to sit down and have the conversation of, yo, people can't afford shit. Ain't nobody trying to see this right now. Ain't nobody trying to see this. And I'm surprised people don't protest the Met Gala more. This year they kind of did, naturally so, but I'm surprised that people in general don't protest it more, because at the end of the day, what are we doing? Like, what is if you're gonna have art, it's supposed to be accessible to everyone, right? And it's an exclusive event. You get invited. Anna Wintour has to like sign you off and sign off on what you wear. Like, it's if it is in fact to fund the continuation of the Costume Institute and the continuation of the work that they do, how why are you making it such an exclusive thing, when at the end of the day it's still going to be part of a museum collection, a museum which previously whose doors were open to the public, to all members of the public. Now you gotta pay $30, which is insane. You know what I mean? So I think those are the thoughts that I have about the Met Gala in general. I think it's just one of those things which is just like upsetting to see kind of like lose its original purpose. Actually, I don't think it's lost its original purpose, but lose its original meaning that it had to those of us who actually appreciate it for what it was. You know what I mean? So those are my thoughts. Next segment. And this is the end of the episode. I think I was really excited to do this piece because I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about fashion. It's going to be nice. But I think now I'm a little bit depressed. I think I didn't end on the greatest note because it's sad to see. I think that's what it is. But I think I'm going to talk more about more art-related things. So, originally this podcast was supposed to be like law, fashion, and like AI. But now it's giving law, art, tech. So we're going to do a little switch up because you know what I really want to talk about next time? On the more art-related side of stuff is what happened to the jury of the Venice Biennale. That's what I'm going to talk about. Not next week. Also, Pride Month's coming up, so definitely not when Pride Month's up. But at some point, I will talk about it. There aren't many thoughts that I can leave you with. All I can say is that hopefully Anna Wintour listens to the people. I hope she listens to the people and she just rethinks who she wants to have on that co-host, co-sponsor, team board. Because what's the point if people are revolted by it? You don't want your night ruined, right? Maybe they didn't have their night ruined, but what is the point of it? You know what I mean? Like, there's no point of it. Yes, philanthropy, sure, exclusive event, but to what ends and by what means, So I hope they rethink things a little bit, because I don't think the Costume Institute is going to run out of money anytime soon. Y'all had 31 million last year. Y'all had maybe less than that the year before. Y'all have 42 this year. Y'all will be alright. Trust me. Y'all finna be alright. So, yeah. Get Rama Duwaji in that bitch. I want to see her there. By fire, by force. Please. But yeah, those are my thoughts on things. And I shall see you in the next episode. Bye.